Alright, here we are again in another game of League of Legends. We got ourselves a mid-silver gold-ish game going on between the blue team running with the Zed on the top lane, or in mid, actually probably top lane, as the Lux is going to be mid. Graves and Taric down bottom, and Cho'Gath in the jungle with no potions quite. There he goes. Whereas for the red team, we do have a Sona down bottom, I'm assuming, with a Kali in mid with all those potions bought. Caitlyn going down with that Sona. Kha'Zix up top lane, and Lee Sin in the jungle. Both junglers, of course, started with Thunder's Machete. It's pretty much the only item you can start with, except for certain characters. Malphite and certain armored characters notwithstanding. Oh, Taric about to walk into a Sona, so I'm doing a little bit of extra damage. Taric actually going in on this, as Taric can out-DPS Sona this early game. Akali coming in, however, making that a little bit worth it. Cho'Gath coming around the outside. This game is starting up very quickly. Ignite going down on Taric to make sure he doesn't chase. The Kama going out to try to do a little bit of extra damage. Akali getting a little bit too hardcore, going down to 2.5 bars, 2 bars, 1 bar, half a bar, and first blood going down for the Caitlyn, who came around the backside and picked up the Taric, who hung around for a bit too long. Caitlyn, chuckling to herself, is probably going to just recall right now. Happy with that 400 gold advantage that she just got, and her team just got a couple extra 100 as well from all those assists. Lee Sin going over red buff, as he's going to start there as opposed to blue. He's an energy champion, he doesn't need blue buff, and level 2 red buff will make it very, very easy to gank early game. Man, Lee Sin's a weird character. Really good though. Think about buying a character, maybe think about getting Lee Sin. Pretty strong. Kha'Zix, starting with the fort part. I've seen a lot of people do this. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not very good at the game, you know me. So I personally don't build it, but if you know when to use it, it's going to give you a massive stat boost when you need it the most. So it's very, very good to try to do that. Lee Sin having 70 AD at level 1 doing a freaking lot of damage to those rates really, really quickly. Gonna be able to get that red buff without any real trouble, with only a little Kha'Zix helping out. Gonna have to smite this though, he's gonna take too much damage if he doesn't want to. Just kidding, as the Lee Sin is thinking about going for a smiteless leash. Graves getting down to 1.5 bars just by the harass from Sona and Caitlyn. That's a very harass-heavy lane. He did not smite the red buff, but he is at 2.5 bars, 2 bars right now, working up with that potion. Zed finally coming back to lane at level 1. Kha'Zix got a little bit of extra experience, and Lee Sin is coming around for a level 2 gank as expected with that red buff. It's a really good idea. Probably going to try to hit his Q and then come in with that. If he doesn't hit his Q, this is going to be a massive wash. As the only other spell he has, I believe, is his shield. No, he also has his ground slam. Ground slam goes down to slow this Kha'Zix, and a good amount of damage actually goes down, getting the Kha'Zix down to around a bar of health. Lee Sin walking away with 2.5 bars himself, because he decided to tower dive this early. Not the best idea. Huh. Is he really only at 1 health potion, or is that a glitch in the game? Who knows? We'll see. Graves and Taric still ridiculously far pushed back because of the Sona Caitlyn. This is a brutal lane to go against. They're just going to poke all day. The sun goes down on the Caitlyn though, and that's going to be doing quite a bit of damage. Cho'Gath coming around on the outside to do a little bit more damage. The Graves getting exhausted, healed by the Taric to keep himself alive. The Sona getting massively out of position. They're still focusing the Caitlyn though, which is a very good decision. Barrier goes down on the Graves to make sure he doesn't die to the Sona. Flashing after her to try to catch up. The stun goes down and the buckshot picks up the kill on the support. See how they did that? They focused down the Caitlyn as hard as they could. Even though the Sona was obviously in a bad position, they went for the carry first, because if the carry turned around, they'd take a lot more damage. Then they turned around and realized, like, you aren't going to catch the Caitlyn. Might as well go for the Sona, who's hanging around back here for some reason. Good play all around. Meanwhile, in mid lane, nothing's really going on. The Lux, I feel like, has an advantage until level 6, and then Akali's going to jump on her as hard as she can. The Akali farming pretty nicely on the top. I'm not sure why she threw that down, maybe to avoid any pokes that the Lux might throw. Well, Graves tries to buckshot some minions to push the lane a bit faster. As he's been on his tower this whole time, he's kind of sick of it, I have to assume. Farming really well, though, actually. Caitlyn's 9 minions to his 18. Probably because of that gank. That Cho'Gath's giving a very, very good advantage to the bottom lane. The earlier you can get an advantage in any given lane, the faster you're going to snowball in that lane. So as long as you can hold that advantage without getting ganked or bad warding or any number of things, the better off you'll be. So early ganks are good. Not required, but certainly nice. Lux is actually recalling really early here. I'm not sure what she's going back for. She does have health potions, mana potions, wards, all the happiness points. What is she going for? I seriously do not know. We'll see as the time goes on. She might have disconnected for all I know. Does kind of seem that way, as she hasn't actually done anything with any of her items. Cho'Gath going for a gank up top though, nothing really coming from that, as the ward coverage is pretty solid for the Kha'Zix. Right there, being that ward. Pretty far out for Cho'Gath, who has a pretty slow gank, but it's okay, it all worked out in the end. Cho'Gath picking up a Spirit Stone on his first back, while Lux goes back to get double Fairy Charms. Apparently she was worried about mana issues against an energy champion. That makes a lot of sense, as Akali doesn't have to worry about it, so she has a bit more sustainable harass. Top lane, this is going to be a really slow lane all around. They're both assassins against each other. They both have really good escapes. Actually, not so much Zed. Not as much as Kha'Zix's ult is, but it will definitely work out for him at some point. Kha'Zix just farming under the tower. It's not actually that hard to do this early game. Tower shots take, it takes 2 tower shots to kill a melee creep this early game, and basically to get a creep low enough to kill with 1 auto attack, it takes 2 tower shots. Sorry if that's confusing. So you just wait for it to shoot twice, hit the thing, you'll probably get the kill. Kha'Zix healing up a little bit with spike racks or something? I don't know how Kha'Zix works. I will be totally honest. I'll look it up later. It's pretty important, I feel, as Kha'Zix is pretty heavily played. Sona's totally out of mana right now. Hopefully she's thinking about making that Fairy Charm work for her, but it's going to take a little while she waits. Fortunately for the blue team, the entire river is completely unwarded. Unfortunately for the blue team, the Lee Sin coming around to the red buff, thinking that it's going to be up pretty soon. Instead, he's going to recall since he notices that it is not up. Zed getting a little bit more ranged harass on this Kha'Zix. Still has not used his Fort Pot, as he hasn't actually gone in on them yet. Fort Pot's still held for both of these champions, in fact. This is higher level play than I play. It's like mid-silver gold. I think there's a platinum player in here. I'm not totally sure. Need to check that before the game. Keep that in mind for later. Both bottom laners going to recall. Caitlyn has a good amount of gold, I believe. Yep, with the 1,000 gold, she's probably going to pick up a Vamp Scepter, I'm guessing, though I haven't actually seen her buy anything quite yet. Lee Sin going back buying his Madrids and a Longsword, going for Wriggles pretty soon. Not a bad decision, as that is the jungler's item of choice if you're a very, very heavily attack-based champion in the jungle, not like a Mumu or anything. That'd be a really embarrassing choice. Yep, Caitlyn picking up the Vamp Scepter for herself and a couple of wards, or a ward and a few potions, rather. Well, Lux is back on levels. This Akali's probably going to try to look for and engage as soon as she can. She's going to go nuts on this person. With level advantage. Oh, nope, not quite level advantage anymore. Maybe just still going to look for an engage, though. Akali's an assassin. If she goes in, this Lux is going to take a pretty good amount of damage. We will see as the game goes on, though. Whoa, 41 AP with no items. That's hardcore. Lee Sin and Kha'Zix high-fiving each other as Lee Sin walks golems and Kha'Zix back to lane. Kha'Zix got a Vamp Scepter, going to make it a little bit harder to push out of lane. Well, I think the Zed... Oh, yep, Bilge Water Cutlass. Bilge Water Cutlass is a really good item up top, apparently, as you get 12% lifesteal. That is a lot of lifesteal for all of those not in the know, as opposed to the Vamp Scepter's 10%. Lee Sin's probably going to just pick up this red buff and see if he can get a gank off up top lane, as the Zed, again, hasn't warded up too heavily. The only ward they have right now is this one. It's going to probably die before Lee Sin gets over there, because he's probably going to get these wraiths, I hope, I would assume. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, bot lane, nothing particularly exciting happening. A stun going down on the Sona. Both the carries fighting each other. Graves making sure that Caitlyn cannot run away, as Graves has a little bit more DPS this early game, although he did just get exhausted and trapped in a trap of the Caitlyn variety, and he has to run away because he's at 2 bars. Barrier goes down to save his own life. Stun goes down. Ooh, and the Sona gets counter-initiated upon. Oh my goodness, Kha'Zix getting beaten on by this Zed. Zed's going to win this, as Zed had a tiny bit more HP. The Ignite going down, though, and picking up that kill all the same. Somehow that Caitlyn ult didn't work. Oh god, why did you tower dive? You're an AD carry. Both AD carries killing themselves. That was very Romeo and Juliet. It doesn't really matter, though. I believe the killing spree was picked up by the red player. Yep. So that's going to be a little bit of extra gold. Akali again tower diving to get that kill. Not making it worth it, however, as the Cho'Gath got an assist. Basically making a trade. Lee Sin having to flash out of that rupture. That's a little bit... Wow, that was an awesome shot. Oh, never mind. I thought his minions were the enemy minions. I was really confused as to how he got that hit. He did, though, and that's what's important. This Kha'Zix is probably super proud of himself that he got that kill, to be honest, because he didn't really earn it. But it's okay. Oh yeah, Bilge Water Cutlass still has that active. That would explain why he was able to trade the way he did. Unfortunately for him, there were still summoners, and summoners do tend to balance this game out rather nicely. Meanwhile, Sona only has the 1 gold per 10, and does have a ruby crystal. I'm not sure what she's going to build that into. Maybe a Kindle gem? I'm not totally sure. We'll see as the game goes on. Still no boots on the Lee Sin as Akali tries to pick up this blue buff, excuse me, as fast as she can. Kind of takes a little bit of time for the AD carry, or the AP carry to do it alone. Cho'Gath coming in for a gank, Sona just walking away very, very slowly. Maybe the Cho'Gath made that weak. Oh god, why are you running at the Cho'Gath? Oh goodness, that was dangerously close. Akali coming in on the bottom to counter gank. That's not a bad decision at all, as the DPS is quite high. The Shank goes down. Does she have an ignite up? No, she doesn't need it. The auto attack picks up that kill for the Akali. Good assassination all around. The Cho'Gath, I'm not sure how that gank went as badly as it did. I mean, maybe there are no wards to show that he can. Oh yes, nope, someone just put that down. Not sure what's up with that. Maybe the Cho'Gath just kind of gave a bad gank. Vision Ward going down to Dragon, very, very good choice. Oh my god, Lux getting caught out of position by the top lane, Kha'Zix and the Lee Sin coming in. That was a very easy pickup in the mid lane. The red team just sort of making it known that they have some roamers. They have some people who are willing to leave their lane to get some kills. That's not a bad idea in any case. The red team could take this opportunity to get Dragon, and I believe that they are not going to, as the Lee Sin's a little bit low to want to tank it indeed. Although Caitlyn is back, she does not have a huge amount of AD, but she'd be a right easy way to get Dragon. She'll be doing a good amount. Trying to get as much harass done on this Taric as she can. Taric going for the double gold pretends with the, oh god, because of that build as the Sona gets initiated upon, gets knocked down by the Taric stun and the Graves ulti. Caitlyn having to walk away as fast as she can. Graves not caring too much about the little pokey-pokes as he's going to go in hog wild, see how much damage he can get with buckshot and a few auto attacks. She gets down to 3.5 bars, give or take. Akali walking around top lane, not entirely sure what she's looking for. But as the Zed is all the way back here, there's no way this is going to end particularly excitingly for the red team. This ward right here is doing mad work for the red team. I'm sorry, for the blue team, as this Zed just knows where everyone is. They've come through this bush every single time, so he just kind of, he has the sense. Lux hitting a light binding and illusion singularity, not doing a huge amount of damage, as I do not believe she's built too much AP. Yep, just the Dorn's Ring. Probably going to build this Chalice of Harmony into an Athene's Unholy Grail, a not bad item, all things considered. Huh. Does Caitlyn have a VS Sword yet? Nope. Does Graves? Nope. Just the double Dorn's Vamp, giving him a little bit more AD. Graves, if you get close enough, will have enough damage to out-DPS the Caitlyn just because of the buckshot and the ulti. Caitlyn just has, you know, she has one nuke, but it's not as DPS-y as buckshot, and it's much longer range, so, you know, you just gotta play it careful. Although with the Taric on the other team, it's really hard to keep that Caitlyn safe. Once the Taric throws a stun, the Sona really doesn't have a way to say, no, don't do that, no. Cho'Gath coming in for a very, very quick gank. Boots of mobility have been built on him, so he's booking it real fast. Gonna focus down the Sona because she is right there. Easy pickup all around for every team there. Ult goes down on all three champions. The Sona's actually gonna walk away with that because of the amazing ult hitting all three of these champions. Well played by her. That was super good. Okay, I'm just walking to the side of that Rupture. That was super nice. I'm like proud of that Sona ulti. She really had, like, she clutched that out super hardcore. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Sona's actually going to hang around too. Oh my god, Akali going in hog wild against the Lux who has barrier. Still not going to make a huge difference because this little Akali is going to get out with 1 bar. Very nicely played. Probably didn't plan around the barrier going down. But the Cho'Gath is going to be able to catch this Akali because of Boots of Mobility. The Akali really has to get... Oh, the good jukes by the Akali with the Twilight Shroud. Making the Cho'Gath flash over the wall for no reason and embarrass himself. Money Mike not getting so much money out of that one, if I do say so myself. Terrible puns all day, every day. Let's see here right now. Oh, I was going to say Kha'Zix about to initiate, but no, he just recalled, so that's the exact opposite of what I was talking about. Whereas Zed hasn't actually bought any new items recently. I believe those boots are a new addition, but I could be wrong. Whereas Kha'Zix went back, bought a BF sword. Alright, going for the big deeps. So 139 AD on the Zed to the 161 on the Kha'Zix. The Kha'Zix can actually win trades now. Sounds good, even with the Bilgewater Cutlass active, which just shoots and does 100 damage. Won't make a huge difference to this Kha'Zix, who's just going to lifesteal it right back up, even while fighting. Zed has no way to lower healing by any way. Oh god, I thought the Taric already has Sunfire Cape. I was like, what the hell? No, he doesn't. Alright, Taric and Graves going to break this tower down for free. Both Sona and Caitlyn are way too far back to stop that. That lane was pretty much done as it was to begin with, just because of the way that Taric and Graves work together so well. The DPS in this lane is amazing. And the way that Taric can just keep someone stunned is brutal. He just sticks to people with his little shatter and his stun. Dragon still sitting happy over here. Comfortably not killed this entire game at 1446, not too surprising. They could have gotten it a bit earlier, but it's not really a priority at this point. Red team's tower having gone down, gonna make it a little bit harder. Oh, look at that. Zed once again almost dying to Ignite. The potion's gonna save his life.